Welcome to Professional Sports, home gambling, fighting, and the subject I'll be discussing today, steroids. Physicians are deeply polarized on performance-enhancing drugs and their dramatic effect on sports. The three key issues that I'll be discussing today are: is the use of steroids cheating? Do athletes who use steroids bring in more fans? And do we as fans drive athletes to use steroids? The first topic that I'll be discussing is the use of steroids cheating? The main reason steroids are considered cheating is, Michael J. Beloff said, the essence of a sporting contest is that it should be fairly conducted, with the competitor's success or failure being the result of natural talents, speed, skill, endurance, tactical awareness, honed it may be by instruction, training, and body maintenance in its widest sense. So those who use steroids are trying to gain an unfair advantage. They're trying to build their body to its max potential without putting any of the work that others are putting in. They're trying to make themselves bigger, faster, and stronger without embracing that daily grind that athletes have to use. Others believe that athletes should be able to be their best no matter what it takes, and be able to make themselves the best that they can. There are many athletes who are accused, and there are also a lot of athletes that are guilty of using steroids. But a lot of those feel that they're lacking the God-given ability that many other athletes have in their professional sport. And they're just trying to gain an upper hand. They're fighting for a spot with that other better athlete. They're trying to, in reality, that's their job, and they're trying to make the money that they can. Also, older athletes who have started to lose their ability start to resort to steroids to make their body hold up better, and they're starting to have to compete with the younger generation of athletes who are more well-rounded. They're making their bodies hold up, and they're making themselves better athletes. Another situation where steroids should be allowed is when like an athlete is injured, or when like a doctor prescribes them to use those steroids. In 2010, Mark McGwire, a former St. Louis Cardinal and the person who was second all time on a home run single season list, was accused and pushed to admit that he used steroids during his playing days. Even though they weren't illegal then, he still got in trouble, and he still is debated whether or not his home run should count. Now for our next issue. Do those athletes who use steroids bring more fans into the stands of sporting events? From 1996 to 2001, the so-called steroid era of baseball came back to life. In 1994, there was a strike, and all the players quit in the middle of the season, and baseball attendance just went down. Then in 1996, 17 hitters hit 40 or more home runs in a single season, something that only 5 players had done the season before the strike. In 2001, LeBarry Bonds hit 73 home runs and broke the single season record. Attendance went up 44%, and the average ticket price went up 78%. Athletes who use steroids seem to be larger than life. They put on a bigger and better show, and they're just out there trying to impress us. And isn't that what we want? While some say steroids saved others, others say they hate going to the sporting events that have athletes who use steroids. They hate seeing all those guys out there cheating. They would rather go to a sporting event where they know everybody is clean, everybody is doing what they're capable of doing, not what a chemically designed substance has done for them. The final issue that I'll be discussing is, do we as fans pressure athletes to use steroids? We expect athletes to put on a show. We expect them to be godlike. We expect them to be the best and nobody to be able to put anything else above them. We expect that they go out and they crush the ball, they go out and they crush each other. That's what we as fans love to see. But they're just out there really hurting themselves with their body and everything else. And then others say that athletes should not use steroids, and they should be able to be godlike with just their hard work, their talent, and everything that carried them to their major league positions. They should, if it got them there, why can't it keep them there? Sports were meant to be clean, fair, and competitive. So in conclusion, throughout this speech, I think it has become clear why physicians are so deeply polarized on the use of steroids and whether or not they should be allowed in sports. Really, there will always be a debate of whether or not steroids really did save sports or if it was just kind of a trend. Many don't believe it, but there will always be a debate whether or not fans actually do pressure athletes or if they just take it upon themselves to do that. But no matter what we as fans or the player associations or the league's commissioners do, athletes will always be looking for an upper hand.
So did the players that the ones that came back, were they proven to have steroids usage once they after the strike, the players that came?
Oh yeah, that's when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and all the guys started playing. That's when many of them it wasn't known then because baseball didn't actually ban steroids until 2002 I think it was. But when a bunch of them came out later and said that they had used steroids.
Do you know why they're trying to penalize those who use steroids and don't live normal? Why are they trying to penalize them now?
Just because it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, but that's just, since it's illegal now, I guess they're trying to take it back to when it first started as well.
So when a player gets sick or injured and they have to take steroids, will they be taken out of the game and not be allowed to play until they're off the steroids then?
Well, they usually, if an athlete tests positive, no matter what the situation is, they get suspended no matter what the situation is. Ashley?
So, the medical steroids and then the sports-related steroids, are they considered different things so that if they have a prescription for it and they do test positive for a type of steroid and it's the medically prescribed steroid, do you think there would be an issue with that?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that they have it's still.
What sets the boundary between regular performance enhancement type things such as pre-workout or protein and all those other supplements that athletes take? Where is the boundary between that and the full-blown anabolic steroids?
Well, even C4, pre-workout and stuff like that, colleges, you're not allowed to use that. That shows up on your drug test and stuff like that. You're still getting in trouble for that where they test for it.
Are people getting addicted to these steroids when they go and get them for medical reasons and then they just keep on using them afterwards, or is it just kind of on their own will?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'd say just like anything else, you could get addicted to it if you abuse it.
When you're talking about these kind of over-the-counter steroids, are those equally as when people go and get injections of steroids? If a major league player is using these over-the-counter types of steroids, is it the same type of punishment across the board?
Yeah, you're still getting the same kind of punishment.
All right, good job.